Okay, you got one at 8 o'clock.
The computer's on.
What are these called? On. It says in parent mode.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well and you're ready to dive right into summer school. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you all for choosing Garden Web and staying with us. We don't have any new ones this summer, so all of you have been with us before, but we're glad to see you all back. We've got about 80 of you with us tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, so we'll be on time and try to get you out of here. Some of you got class a little bit later on, and so we just came out of the faculty meeting. So let me check this and share my screen, and let's dive right in. So here is the summer schedule. For 603 add-on, we have Doctors Tobias, Whitaker, and Zons. And then there's their coach, Barnes Talent. Dr. Neal's teaching 602 this summer with Dr. Burgess as her coach. Dr. Sanders has got 2 sections of 605. Dr. Stedman's got 1. Dr. Worrell's got 1. Dr. Todd, as this is actually just 1 section, C10. I had them, that's the group that I had this spring. And you can see your coaching assignments. I've moved coaches around this summer for various reasons, and so don't be mad at anybody but me. Then I've got the 2 603 regulars, Dr. Caton and Maraglia are back with me this summer, and then Dr. Stone has the lone 605 master's class with Dr. Bullis this summer. So that's what the schedule looks like, and so let's dive in to all the information that we need to cover tonight. If you have not applied for if you are completing this summer, master's or add-on, you should have already applied for graduation. If you have not, when you go in, it will only give you the option to apply for fall. Then we'll have Sherry Jackson in the registrar's office will manually move you back to summer. Those of you who are in 603 add-on, you will need to go ahead and apply for graduation for the fall now. Whether you're add-on or master's, it doesn't matter. You have to apply. Now, if you're late in applying, they charge a late fee. Now, you can be mad at me, but I don't set the time, or that's all done in the registrar's office. I just, as a courtesy, remind everybody. You get your email and you correspond back and forth with them. They tell you all of those things. But just as a reminder, if you're finishing this fall or this summer, you need to make sure that you have applied for graduation, master's and add-on. So that's the first thing. So let's look at each of our sections this summer in terms of what's required of you. For the full master's program that started in the spring of 2020, you'll be with Dr. Stone. Again, make sure you applied for graduation. You'll have your Blackboard coursework for your instructor to include your discussion boards assignments, evidence peer reviews, task stream portfolio evidences. You owe us the CAP and the SOP to complete your portfolio this summer. The SOP and the CAP. Task stream DRF portfolio dispositions, competency analysis. You've got a completer survey. You've got to upload all 5 of your semester internship logs. You upload them in your DRF portfolio and you submit for evaluation. You've got to finish your competency folio this summer. That means all 3 rounds of artifacts completed. Should have 3 artifacts for all 21 of the competencies. Remember, you don't put anything under digital competencies. They're embedded into the 21. So that's what you owe us this summer. For the 3 semester folks, you owe us the same thing. I've written it out, but you owe us the same thing this summer. And that's the folks who are with Dr. Sanders, both sections, Dr. Stedman, Dr. Worrell, and Dr. Todd. Again, that's what you owe us. I sent this. I'll send it back out with the video tonight. I sent this agenda. Please remember that when you complete your competency folio, and I'm going to show you that in just a second, when you complete your competency folio in TaskStream, you have to physically move it over to your DRF portfolio. So let me go there now and show you that. So let me go here, and I'm walking you in for a reason. So that you can see how we walk in and do this. So I'm going to sign in.
Dr. Lamb, we're just still seeing your spreadsheet schedule for the summer.
Let me stop my share and go back out and come back in and see if it will. What about now? Y'all see TaskStream now?
Yes.
It didn't move with me. All right, we've got it now. All right, so I have walked into to TaskStream. I'm here where you have one DRF. I have everybody's, but so folios and web pages. This is where your competency folio resides. Remember, it's not in your DRF portfolio. It's here, and so I'll select one. As you know, you've got 21 competencies over here on the left, and each one of them tells you what you have to do to satisfy that one. So for communication, you got to have one from the AppSell, one from the SOP, and one open-ended. And there's materials in your class shell as always. You are all returning that nobody's new. This should not be new information to any of you. But please remember, you can have more than 3. You can have 4 or 5, or heaven forbid, 6 or 7. You can have as many as you want, but you got to have these 3. These 3 you got to have. And so you upload all these in here. And remember, when you come down here to digital learning competencies, there's nothing to put in here. That's just an explanation of what they are. And so they, as you can see, if I click on emotional intelligence, there is not one for that one. There is not a digital, but if I click on, but if I click on communication, as you can see, one of them has to be digital. If I click on change management, one of them has to be digital, and it tells you. So make sure you read this little blurb that goes with that to make sure that you get them in there. So when this thing is through, you can publish and share it, and it'll create a link and a DRF for you to share with prospective employers. But that's not what we talk about uploading it for evaluation. When it is complete, there is a video in your shells, 2.5 minutes that I made, where you upload this for a final evaluation in your DRF portfolio that goes along with your evidences and all of the others. But you don't move it until it is complete. It's a one-shot deal. And then there's a video on how to do that. Now, you can request comments on any of your work from your coach. It's hooked to them. And so I'll make sure that you can request comments from your coach. I'll have to make sure that those links are working, but you can do that. Now, as a reminder, internship log is here down at the bottom. Move this out of the way. This is for your semester logs. Many of you, unfortunately, have been uploading your semester logs in your DRF portfolio, and I have to send those back for revision. That they don't need to be revised. We only upload these logs in the DRF portfolio at the end of the last semester when they're all ready for final evaluation. Please remember, master students need 5 semester logs of 80 hours each, and add-ons need 3 semester logs of 80 hours each for the final evaluation. So let's go over to the DRF portfolio. Let me change the view as if I were a student. And so we'll look at this. And so you can see what's due in each of these areas. And the internship log here in your DRF portfolio is only at the end of the last semester of your program when you have all your logs complete. The final competency folio, again, that's at the end of your program when this thing is complete. This is you come here and then you follow the directions to upload your final, and it will give you your final competency folio. You just click on the attachment button and start the process to upload it. And you an artifact created in TaskStream, a folio, that's what we're looking for. Select category, and that would be web folio. Select work. Again, that folio that I was just working in, and then add file. Again, I'm going fast. There is a video in your class shell that covers this slowly, and you can pause it and watch as you go through. And it will upload your folio, save and return, submit my work, and there it is. Yes, submit my work, and there it is. It's just that simple. Once you have completed it, it's just that simple. And then you go back to that's how you upload your web folio, your competency folio for final evaluation once you've got your 63 artifacts in there and they're the right ones. So make sure that you understand that. That's for folks who are in 605 this summer. For those of you in 602 and 603, you'll continue to add to your folio this summer, remembering you won't upload it to the end of the last semester. You can put internship logs in your competency folio and request comments on those from your coach as well. Please do not put semester logs in this DRF portfolio because this is a one and done as well. I have to send those, I have to catch those and send them back. All right, so that's your task stream. Looking at that, I have it mapped out for you. Let me stop this share and go back and do it's making me do a manual share tonight. That's okay. Move this out of the way. But again, all of that is written out for you folks in 605 now. So let's look at important dates for you 605s. The 6 evidences are due in your TaskStream DRF portfolio for evaluation by 9 a.m. on Monday, July 19th. And then your entire DRF portfolio, including your competency folio and all the dispositions, competency analysis, all those things, has to be done by Monday, July 26th at 9 a.m. in order to complete on Saturday, July 21st. So those are pretty hard and fast dates. And please remember, you upload your internship logs for comments in the competency folio, and then you upload them, the final, all 5 or all 3 at the end of your program in your DRF portfolio and submit them for evaluation. If you put your semester logs in your DRF portfolio, we'll have to send them back for revision. But you have to keep that open so that you can submit your final ones at the end. So That's for all of you folks who are completing this summer, whether you're graduating or completing, whether your masters or add-on. That's everything that you should know right there. It's all in one place for you. All right. So I'll move on to our 603s. We do have 2 sections of those that are with me, Dr. Maraglia and Dr. Caton this summer. You have your Blackboard work and you have your OMA 4-task of it. You don't have any competency analysis. You do have to do a disposition of yourself. You'll owe us 12 artifacts in your folio this summer, including the ones that have digital learning competencies embedded. There's 9 required and 4 are your choice. And just we'll talk about that in class on Wednesday night, which ones are required and which ones are your choice. All right. And so that's in the OMA, the required ones for the OMA, it spells those out. That's in the task and prompts. It tells us which 9 are required, which 4 are, then you can choose the others. And then you will do the other 9 when you're in 604 and do the skip. You'll do the 9 that you didn't do this semester. All right. You folks who are in the 3-semester add-on with Drs. Tobias, Zients, and Whitaker, you've got your Blackboard work to do, discussion boards, case studies, assignments, all those things. You will owe us the OMA and the skip this summer. You have to do 2 as usual. You don't have to do any competency analysis, but you do dispositions, and you'll need to complete a full second round of 21 competencies in your competency folio. The 5-semester master's programs, 602 with Dr. Neal this summer, you'll do your coursework. You have 1 artifact due, and 1 evidence due, and that's the APTEL. There's 4 tasks. You don't have any competency analysis, but or dispositions due for you this summer, and you again will do 13. You'll do 13. You'll do basically a half. You'll do 13 of your competencies in your task stream competency folio. You'll do 13 of those this summer. So that tells you everything that you owe us. That'll be covered on your first night of class, whether it's tonight, Monday night, Tuesday night, or Wednesday night. I don't know if anybody's doing Thursday classes this summer or not. Most everybody does them Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Your summer schedule will be in your class shell. Some instructors are going to do a straight 10 weeks through and either start late or finish early. Some of us are doing an 11-week schedule where we'll give you the week of the 4th off. You'll need to look in your instructor shell at the weekly schedule to know what night of the week that your classes are meeting, what time, the Zoom link. My classes meet on Wednesday night as always at 7 o'clock. We'll start this week. We'll take the week of the 4th off, and we'll finish the last week in July.
Dr. Lamb, can we remind them that even though that we won't have class the week of the 4th, that work will still be due
Oh, yeah.
on that week? So that doesn't excuse the work that needs to be done. We just won't be coming together in class.
Yeah. A lot of people are traveling that week, and it's too hard to kind of get everybody together to get online. And so we won't be meeting, but that doesn't mean that you don't have work due that week. Remember, we've only got a short period of time to get everything done that we normally get done in 16 weeks, and we're 6 weeks short of that this summer. So, you really got to buckle down and make sure that, we're driven by work, not by time. All right. So that's where everybody should be for us right now. This is everything you've got to do this summer. Now some important announcements, reminders. For those of you who are in 605 this summer, if you're interested in the doctoral programs, here these are. I've advertised this before, but also those of you who are in 603 this summer, we talked about that this spring. For those of you who are in 603 this summer, add on. If you choose either the EDCI program or EDLS program, curriculum or leadership, you can accelerate into that program in the fall. You need to get in touch with me. Here are the names of the folks who run those programs. But we can work on accelerating you into your doctoral program in the fall and you'd take 730 rather than 605. You'd still have your 698. You'd still complete your portfolio at Christmas, but you could actually take your first course in the doctoral sequence in the fall rather than 605. Now, for those folks who are in 605 this summer, you just matriculate right on into your doctoral program in the fall. This is only for the 603 add-ons. Again, let me call the names here and make sure. If you're in Dr. Tobias' Zients or Whitaker class this summer in 603, you could potentially apply and get accepted into one of our doctoral programs in the fall in EDCI or EDLS, not DEOL, organizational leadership. But you could apply and you could actually skip 605, save that money, and take a doctoral course in the fall. And additionally, if you work in Rutherford, Cleveland, Gaston, or Lincoln counties, they have an additional discount for you folks in the doctoral program in EDCI and EDLS. The Foothills Initiative, they give you a big price break on tuition for EDCI and EDLS. Now, DEOL is a traditional liberal arts intertraditional doctoral program that does not do a dissertation. It's for people who want to work in college, community college, or other nonprofit agencies. It's not for folks who are designed or geared who are going to stay in K-12. If you want to work at the local college or the local community college, it is our version of a higher leadership and higher ed curriculum. And it's called organizational leadership. If you want to work for United Way, or if you want to work city county government, or you want to work at Gardner Webb, or you want to work at Isothermal Community College, this is the program for you. It is not a licensure program. It does not lead to a licensure as a superintendent or principal, or you'll already have your principal license, or a curriculum instruction specialist. It is not a licensure program. It is a program, it's a higher ed program for people who want to work in those areas. Now, it is not a dissertation. It is a capstone. You do a consultancy project. And it lasts 3 calendar years, including the consultancy. And so we offer that doctorate as well. Dr. Hamilton's in charge of that. And so the question is how many hours of the doctoral programs? 60 to 63. 60 to 63 hours. And so if you're in one of the counties, you get a big price break, and if you can accelerate and skip 605, it saves a lot of money. But they're around 60 to 63 hours. Now, the DEOL program is more like the MELS program in terms of it's a set number of classes in sequence. You don't have any options. You take your cohort, you take them every semester for 3 years. I believe it's 9 semesters. And you do, it ends up being right around 60 hours over those 9 semesters. Now, the downside of that as well is I teach statistics in that program in the DEOL. I teach 738. So you'd have to have me for statistics. We do quantitative and qualitative in the same semester. That's a little bit different than the other 2 programs. But that is, again, I had a cohort that I just graduated here on campus. They were all community college people. Cleveland community, Gaston community, Isothermal community. They were all area folks who worked in community college. I've had a lot of folks in that program. Majority of those classes meet in Charlotte. A lot of those folks, a lot of them work in small colleges, in student services, housing, those kinds of things. We have a lot of those folks from small college and community college. We have people in city county government. We have a lot of them. So that's what that program is designed for. If you're going to stay in K-12, you need to focus on EDCI and EDLS. You're going to stay in K-12 education. But those are good programs. If you can get any kind of a price break on them. Now, the thing about the EDCI and the EDLS, they appoint you a coach, much like the MELS program for your dissertation. And their coursework is just 2 years of coursework. And the plan is that theoretically you could finish in 2 years. But their plan is, again, a 3-year doctoral program where you do two years of full-time coursework and then dissertation for a year in EDCI and EDLS. So all 3 of these doctoral programs are designed to be 3 years. You can't go less than 3 years in DEOL. Potentially you could in CNI and LS, but generally these are 3-year doctoral programs. They're not the old type 6-year. They're low residency. Obviously with COVID, the residency, we've done it online, but starting back in the fall, when you folks would be looking to enter one of these programs, they have weekly or nightly sessions during the week, and they do low residency weekends where you do Saturday and Sunday, and they're either the LS program and the CNI program. They have cohorts that form in Charlotte, here on main campus. They're in Goldsboro and I think maybe Greensboro area somewhere there, maybe Fayetteville, according to interest, but on campus in Charlotte every semester, and then pretty much every semester out at Wayne Community College in Goldsboro. And sometimes in Greensboro. They've got one in Durham right now, sometimes in Fayetteville. So that's where those meet. The DEOL program only meets in Charlotte and here on the main campus. We do not have an Eastern cohort for them. But again, it's 3 weekends a month. 3 weekends a semester, excuse me. 3 weekends a semester, Saturday and Sunday all day. 3 weekends a semester. We do have a deal with hotels where you can get reduction in rates if you have to drive in or fly in from very far. They're very user friendly in terms of you don't have to take off on Fridays. The classes are Saturday and Sunday. So they have moved and adapted that model. So I teach in all 3 of them across, them. Specifically, I teach pretty much every semester. So I had 2 classes this spring of statistics and 738 for DEOL. And so it's us. You have some different, DEOL has some different folks. They have an attorney that teaches business law. They have some folks who work in something other than K-12. And so it's a kind of a different experience. The EDCI and EDLS programs is a combination of, just like us, full-time people and some practitioners out in the field. They have a lot of former superintendents teaching in the LS program, have a lot of assistant superintendents for curriculum teaching in the EDCI program. They're both quality programs. DEOL, again, a capstone project rather than a dissertation for that one. No licensure. Those are the options on that. These folks would love to hear from you. You can go through me or you can go directly to them. And so I've done my 5-minute plug for them tonight, and so I'll get my pay from them. All right, as a reminder, here are the operational definitions of everybody that works with you. Your clinical coach 1, that's the person that visits you. Your 2 is the one that's assigned to your class and works with you on your work, the evaluator. And then there's a student suggestion here. If you're doing any grant writing, I continue to add this. Eric was kind enough to drop this line. A lot of you are doing grants now. A lot of you are doing things differently. We're moving into a lot of grant writing in public schools to try to make up money and to try to do things online. This is a suggestion for Eric on that. So that's all the information that you need for the summer. At some point this summer, I will do a interviewing session, as I always do. When I get that planned, when I'm going to do that, I will get that to you. I would suggest that everyone attend that. I do it every semester, but if you're planning to apply for a job for the fall or sometime in the fall for the end of first semester, I'll make sure that you're notified when I do that hour-long session on the interviewing. Students tend to find that helpful. And so we'll do that. But other than that, this will be our only town hall this summer, other than the interviewing town hall that I'll do.
Dr. Lamb, the interview session is scheduled for week 10.
Okay.
for 605.
Okay, let's look at that on my calendar right
And I've got it on mine, and I've got that link already in there, so I can get that link out to you, or however you want it done during the
Yeah.
time. Or we may have to
Alright.
schedule a different one if other classes join in, but
Okay,
I've got it scheduled for week 10.
yeah. All right, so I'm looking at the chat here. For the EDLS program, Dr. Stone works in that pretty every semester. He's half time with us and half time with them. Dr. Stone, I'm going to open the floor up to you to offer a plug for the EDLS program to answer any questions.
All right. Welcome everyone. I look forward to my class starting tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. I look forward to working with you. As far as the EDLS program, you would enter that program. It's a 6 courses designed to last 2 years. And then the last 2 courses are add-on courses, which will help you with your dissertation. So as writing your dissertation, which is what you want to do in the EDLS program, you want to exit the program with that doctorate, you will need to take 6 courses, and then there'll be 2 dissertation courses that you will need to take. The program is designed around the North Carolina principal standards, the 7 principal or 7 aspiring superintendent standards. There's a product for each one of the courses which you will work on. And it's really a great opportunity to train you in a district perspective, what the central office perspective would be. So as you are thinking about maybe moving to the central office, either as a superintendent, an associate superintendent, or a director, if that's something in your career path, then certainly this would be the program. This is administration. So this would be the program for you. And again, I'm available if you have any questions, wstone1 at Gardner Webb, as well as Dr. Laws. But it's a really great program. We have Zoom sessions probably every other week. And then we have 3 weekend sessions where we meet on Saturday all day and then half day or most of the day on Sunday. We do make it convenient. We're in Goldsboro, we're in Dunn, we're in Charlotte, we're in Greensboro, Alexander County. Wherever there's a need, we create the program as long as there are 8 or so people who are interested in it. And we draw a lot of candidates from South Carolina as well. And what will happen is this will just simply have a reciprocity with South Carolina once you complete the degree program here. So give us a holler. We would love to have you enrolled in that program. It's very successful. Our candidates do extremely well in their interviewing and central office positions. Thank you, Dr. Lamb.
Thank you, Dr. Stone. Does anybody want to speak on the EDCI program? I've worked in it as well, and I know Dr. Stedman has, and Dr. Todd just left. Different folks of us have worked in EDCI. It mirrors what goes on in EDLS, except this is for folks who, again, who want to work in central services, central office and curriculum, directors, coordinators, assistant superintendent, for those folks. And it works much like the LS. They go pretty much wherever there's the need as well. And their format is much the same. They mirror one another. And so I've talked about the DEOL program. I've worked in that. What those people, we're very proud that one of mine that just finished with me, Bruce Mack, when Bruce started with us, I guess probably 4 years ago this spring when he started with us, I think he was a program coordinator at Cleveland Community College in their engineering. He was the coordinator, and then he became the dean of the engineering department, and then he became vice president at Cleveland Community College. And then it's just been announced within the last week, he's now been appointed vice president of the community college system for North Carolina. And so he has gone from being a program coordinator here in Shelby to he's now working in Raleigh for the North Carolina Community College system. And so he has done, but we've got plenty. I can name a dozen, but it's all about career advancement. It's all about where you see yourself and where you want to go. And so the question that just popped up is does superintendent require another certification? It does. It requires either be in our EDLS program or our EDS program. Now the EDS is the same coursework as the ED LS. They don't really recruit for that, but you just don't write the dissertation. But yes, you have to complete the doctoral coursework in order to get your advanced superintendent's license. When you finish with us, you will have your initial administrative certification either in North or South Carolina. If you want to be a superintendent, you will need to get that advanced certification. That is correct. And we offer that when you with that doctoral program. But the principal certification, the initial certification will stand you in good stead all the way up through assistant superintendent. But if you want to be a superintendent, you're going to need to get that superintendent certification. And they do offer that as a part. It is embedded in their program as well. All right. Any other questions anybody has? Y'all let me drone on too long. We're 3 minutes over our time already. All right. So I know some of you have class tonight. And again, thank you for coming back. I know it's been a tough year. I know this spring was even harder than the spring, summer, and fall prior to that. And so I'm hoping that you'll get some rest and some time from, for yourself, but can't let up on your schoolwork. We got to get this thing on through and move on. We're going to need a lot of school administrators. A lot of folks are retiring. We're going to need a lot. Dr. Worrell she coaches superintendents. Those of you who don't know Dr. Worrell, who's with us tonight, and she sees that she's out in buildings with superintendents, and it's becoming a crisis in terms of teachers and principals, assistant principals. And so there's going to be a lot of jobs opening up. And it's always best to strike when the iron is hot. So within the next couple of years, there'll be a lot of people retiring. And as it always works, it's cyclical. And then there'll be several years that the jobs will be sparse because such a turnover at one time. That's the way it always works. And so I'd say over the next 2 years, there's going to be a plethora of jobs, an abundance. That means a lot. But then probably for the next 2 or 3 years after that, there won't be, until, so let's press on through. Let's get this done. You got in to get out and move on with your life, take care of your family. And so we're here to support you in that. We appreciate you choosing us and being with us. And it's always good to see all of you. I hope you have a good summer. I'll see you again when we do in the 10th week, when we do the interviewing town hall. Everybody have a good evening. Thank you.
Dr. Leon,
Yes.
I have a case specific question.
Okay.
So I am changing out schools and I'll start my new position in June. Does my new principal need to go through the same session that my current principal went through for my clinicalship?
Well, yes and no. We're going to have that person sign off on your hours, and they probably need to know what they're signing off on. Now, if you have your hours done before then, no.
I won't have all my hours done. I'll have
then we'll need to do you get in touch with your CC1 that did your initial visit. Just shoot them an email and schedule I don't know are y'all doing on site or y'all still doing Zoom?
No, so we would be on site at my new school.
Okay.
And I'm also changing locations. So like I'm in Charlotte now, but I'll be in Gardner.
You'll be in Garner. Okay, so that would be Mr. Ramsey would make so you'll have a different coach there. Shoot me an email and
Okay.
and I'll make sure I get in touch with him and he'll be in touch with you about coming out and making a visit then. Yeah, we'll need to do that if you're making that big a change. Yeah, we'll need to do that. He'll need to come to your school. He'll be glad to do that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so very much.
Great, thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Dr.
any-
Lamb,
Yes,
for summer school, can we use summer school hours for our internship log?
summer school hours.
If we're overseeing or helping
Oh,
to
yeah.
oversee
Oh, yeah.
summer school?
Oh, yeah, yes, those are good hours. That's good stuff.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good
Thank
question. Yes, absolutely.
Dr. Lamb, one of the 603 instructors wanted to know if they would be a part of the interviewing on week 10.
I'm gonna invite everybody. We're gonna
Invite everybody.
everybody's
Okay.
gonna come. We're gonna,
Okay,
you know, I'm telling you, they're looking for folks now. We might have some folks that just finished a couple classes that get jobs. We're
Right.
gonna invite everybody this summer. We're gonna make sure that, you know, I'm advocating that everybody apply. If you want the job, now's the time to apply. If you've not finished your program. So we're gonna do interviewing for everybody. We're gonna do just like we did this town hall. Everybody's gonna be invited. I'm gonna do the blast email like I did for tonight. You realize we had 132 people on tonight? And so we're gonna do the blast again. We'll do the same thing for the interviewing town
and
hall.
that will either be on July 19th or the 20th, based on whichever night that July 19th is on a Monday.
Yeah. That looks good for me.
Okay, so you want us to plan on that 19th, and you're going to do the link for us to join that
I
night,
will do
right?
it.
Okay,
I will do it, town hall. Okay. Now we have classes at 7 that night, so we better go at 6
okay.
p.m. Yeah, we'll do 6 p.m. and that'll bleed right into their classes, just like tonight. We'll do 6 p.m. on Monday the 19th. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be great. I've got it on my calendar. I'll create the link and send it out, and then as we get closer to the time, I'll blast it to everybody like I did this one.
Dr.
Okay.
Lamb,
Yes.
there's a question in chat, wanted to know what date they can start their log of
Okay.
intern hours.
About a month ago.
Very good.
Dr.
I'll wait
Lamb,
on
I have
that.
a question.
Yes.
First of all, I apologize. I was late. I got my hours confused with tomorrow's meeting and today. But my question is, I just found out my principal is actually leaving. So should I get her to sign off on whatever hours I finish off with her at the end of June and then start a new log for the new principal?
There you go. And we'll put them together to get your 80. That's exactly right. You know, what we always fear is that somebody new coming in won't know what you did or won't feel comfortable about signing off on your hours. So yes, if you get whatever hours you did that, you know, is close to that person leaving, have them sign those. And so the new person only has to sign hours that you did under their supervision.
Okay, great.
We're
Thank you
trying
so
to
much.
make, you know, we can work with you, but it's the principal we're trying to make feel comfortable in this
Okay.
scenario. That's
Dr.
great.
Lamb, we had told the 601 students when they finished, completed and turned their logs into us, that they could go ahead and start on their
Oh, yeah.
internship. So any of you can go back once you've completed your hours and it was cleared, you can go back and look at your activities and go back and log those things in, because the summer it's harder to get your time
Oh,
in.
it
So
is.
Use
That's why.
those opportunities if you have some things.
Yeah, that's why we said about a month ago, if you had your 80, cut them off and get started on the summer. And so it was about the 15th of April. And it had to be 12 weeks into the semester. Can't count them back further than that. But 12 weeks, whenever that was, about the middle of April into the spring semester. Anytime after that, if you had your hours, and if you got hours, you can go back and count them from then, about the middle of April.
And anything that you do with the summer programs, that's going to be great for your work experience. And with everyone having so many different types of summer programs, we really encourage you just to throw yourself in there and pick up some of those different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would encourage you, go to your principal and ask, just say, I need out, what can I do to help? Just ask
Mhm.
them.
You know, and if I can do math correctly here, if you go in 10 days for 8 hours a day, that would be 80 hours now. I know that some of you work or have other things going on, but you may have to just go in and stay some days and, again, ask your principal, and you may be doing things that you wouldn't normally do, but there's a lot of learning with that as well. But you're really going to have to, be proactive to get your hours in the summer. There's just not, getting 1 hour a day over 50 days is not the 50 hours. I can do that math. I didn't have to take my shoes off. Not that I'm wearing shoes, but if I were, I wouldn't have to take them off to do that math. And so you got to get a couple hours a day. You got to get at least 2 a day. And if you have a day, and again, you know how that works. If you have a day you don't get any, that means one day you got to do 4. So, it sneaks up on you in the summertime. I'm just telling you, it sneaks up on you. Next thing you know, it's July and you got 30 hours. Because there's not a
Dr.
lot of
Lamb?
opportunities after school's out, 1st of June. There's not a lot of opportunities unless you make them.
Hey, Dr. Lamb.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. I have a question for you. Do the hours have to be specifically assigned? So for example, I'm in an interesting role at my current school, where I'm the dean of students and I'm over testing and transportation and security, like our key fobs. And there are certain systems that I want to redo. For example, our transportation is a muck in our district, but there are certain systems that I want to work on to advance. Could those be counted as hours, being that they're projects that I have to get done?
I think absolutely. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Anything that you're doing in the summer where you're doing things like that, especially when you're in charge or assuming a leadership or supervision role, that's exactly what we would do. Now, obviously, we don't want to see 80 hours of something like that, but be realistic about or reasonable about the number. But absolutely, those are great things. A couple hours for each of those, that's a good thing. That's good experience, especially redoing schedules and I'm guessing a lot of that stuff will go in the faculty handbook.
Yeah, I'm actually helping to redo the faculty and staff handbook as well. So yeah, the jack of all trades they have me as.
Yeah, that's what.
But okay, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing. Yeah, a lot of stuff is it's under my belt anyways.
Sure.
But okay, thank you.
Yeah. That's in districts that have dean of students, that's like being the lowest assistant principal on the totem pole. Everything that everybody else doesn't want to do falls to you.
Well said, touche.
Not my first day. So I know how that works. So yeah, that's great experience. That really is great experience. And but yeah, that's a good way to get out. It's not only a good way just to count hours. It's also quality things that you're doing. And so that's one of the things that we like to, we put too much emphasis on just how much clock time it is, but it's also what you're learning during those things, the quality of what you're doing that prepares you for your next role in the business. And so I think that's great. That's good stuff. We still got some of the faculty with us here. Any of y'all have anything else, words of wisdom you want to share with this group before we sign off tonight? And so, I appreciate again all of you being with us. We'll get this video out and we'll send out. But yeah, I'll get the link out. We'll invite everybody to our interviewing because folks are looking for folks, and so we'll get you ready for your interviews. All right, thank you again for joining us. I will see you soon. Everybody have a good summer.